Welcome to the Suicide Monk, and I am your host, and my name is Britton. Today we're going to be talking to Jarek Tadla. He is a Polish immigrant, entrepreneur, gone from dishwasher to multimillionaire, and is an advocate for mental health. So just welcome him, and let's see what today brings us. We'll see you on the good side.
Good.
So where are you at? What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Florida, South Florida.
Okay. Is that where you have been for quite a while, or?
Yeah. I moved to United States when I was at the age of 21, and then I lived in Colorado, and then from Colorado in 2010 I lived in Colorado in Florida, but now mostly I live in Florida, South Florida,
What part of Colorado?
Denver.
Oh, okay. I'm on
Yeah.
the western slope over in Crawford.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I grew
I
up
have
in
a
the
house.
Springs.
Yeah, I have a house in Beaver Creek. I live there,
Oh,
like
do you
this.
really?
Yeah, my ski home. So
Yeah.
yeah, we go there all the time. My whole business is in Denver, Colorado Springs, Aurora, Lakewood. Like that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where I built
Yeah.
my real estate portfolio.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's cool. I grew up in that whole front range, so
yeah,
that's awesome. That's cool to hear. Just kind of give me a little bit of your background, like your childhood, what you grew up with, some of your experiences, and then move into your the rest of, as we go along, your story as it unfolds into coming to America, being the immigrant, and then moving up and finding your path here, and being able to and where you're at now, and how that mental, because you're a mental health advocate now
yeah.
from.
It's a inner wealth, because I tried to commit suicide quite a few times, and
Mm,
how in the head the voice gets louder and louder and clearer, and I'm
yeah,
up the top of the mountains, and if I'm struggling with this stuff, what about people that have real issues? Where
yeah,
I didn't. Like I retired at the age of 28. I'm financially independent. I have family. I have kids. I have everything else. So it's by the rule of society, I got everything I can ever think of,
right,
and yet I'm fucking miserable.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's
yeah,
like when I start looking for answers. I'm still in the journey of recovering. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even though I have a happy life, and every morning I struggle with anxiety, depression. I have to meditate, I have to pray, I have to do all this same work, constantly, and it doesn't change. And truly, I still do that without any issues. So imagine
hmm,
somebody have real issues. You know what I mean?
yeah,
For me, the divorce was. My ski accident was the hardest. That's when I first realized, like, I'm completely emotionally a kid.
sure,
I'm 46 years old man that I have completely non-emotional intelligence or fitness or awareness. You know what I mean?
right.
It's like, oh my God, it happened to me. Or, and then,
What
and
what
then the
what ski
divorce.
accident? You had a ski accident?
I had a ski accident in 2016 on February 14th. And what happened I was 6 months in hospital, 13 surgeries in and out, almost lost my leg.
Wow.
And I'm an athlete. So for me, doing Ironmans and winning competitions, it was like everything. I cannot be a good father. I cannot play soccer. I cannot run with my kids. Just
Right.
bullshit story that we just tell ourselves and we believe it. And
Right.
what happened when I had that depression of depressions, it's just like that's what people don't like realize it. Like how come so many men, 545,000 a year, commit suicide? Because
Yep.
the voice in the head is clearer and clearer, and I could not stop it.
Right.
And I knew if I tried to do it, even though I have set up my boat or the building I'm gonna jump at, I knew I'm gonna succeed at. I knew that, and that was the scary part.
And you said you attempted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and well, it get to this level that I was so depressed that I didn't want to get out of the bed.
Right.
I had a boat, I live on a canal. So I have a boat full of tank, scuba diving tank, because that's the easiest death. So I was just going to jump, go in the middle of the ocean and just go dive and just, get a, narcosis and just, it's a quiet, peaceful death. But I was even too lazy to get out of the bed, you know? It's just the voices in our head. So that's why I understand people that have been through it or struggling with it, because the voice, like, I'm very positive, and I can I can change my mindset from the most negative thing to the most positive. But the same thing, when I hit the negative, it's a lot quicker to fall than climb. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and how have you managed to do that? How do you make the switch or flip the switch for yourself?
It's funny. I was just telling the story. My friend is. I was laying in bed, and I just realized that it was after COVID. I made the most money in 2008 when the crash happened, and I made the most money in 2020, a lot more money in 2020 during COVID than I did
Sure.
in 2008. And I just got out of toxic relationship. I was in a narcissistic relationship for 18 years. So I got divorced. After divorce, I think I'm the only man that quadruple his net worth. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
yet I hit the bottom like I didn't want to get out of the bed. I just hit the bottom of the bottom when I have a new queen, good relationship, I have all the friends. I got everything. And just all the pains from years, constantly covering, being the
Yeah.
provider, not showing off, just like, I'm the strong man. I'm not a pussy. I'm not like, and it
Right.
just at the age of 50, first, it just fucked me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I tried, it's like when it started, you know how you don't know like that you have a depression, like it's like drinking a beer, like yeah, you're having a boss. I have one more, I have a one more. Suddenly you fucked up. The same thing with depression. I don't have a depression. I don't have a depression. I don't have a depression. It's like holy shit, I'm fucked.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the voices in I'm getting goosebumps, and I couldn't believe it how the voices were clear and louder, and the message in my head was
Mhm.
clearer and louder. I'm like, holy shit, I'm delusional. I'm believing this like the devil is taking me to his world.
Mhm.
None of that I built in 50 years is important. I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm not needed here. And I
Mhm.
start believing it. But then I was going to the voice, and then it's like, you know what I mean? And going, no, 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 I need to be here. I have kids, I have family, I have businesses. I mean, I got like people that count on me for 30 years.
Yeah.
And this is voice like, fuck yeah, you did your shit. This is like, look at you, a loser. It's like, whoa. And it's like, and finally, it just, the pain was so unreal that it's like, the journey was so painful. It's like, shit, I got to get out of it. I got to share this story. I got to write the book. I got to do a movie. Because if a man with my fine, and listen, I got 7% body fat. I'm enormously physically fit.
Right.
4 kids at that time, 5 kids, new queen, more money that 3 generations of mine can spend, and I'm fucking complaining. Oh, come on, man. What about real people that have go through the breakup, go through the loss of the loved ones? What about losing a kid? Somebody, you know what I mean? They have serious reasons to be really depressed and to become a victim of the circumstances. I had none. I had none, and I become one.
But the reality is you do. And there's this I think there's this brokenness to all of us, and we're all searching to get back to that thing that we lost when we were kids, and that that spirit of who we're born with, before everything was began to be stripped away from us. I think is really important to look at because that is the true nature of who you are. That's where your softness comes from. That's where your love comes from. That's where your curiosity, that natural formidability, that strength, all of that. And that's all comes from this beautiful part of who you are.
Dude, you're not supposed to make me cry, man. You
That's,
know what? You know what I'm telling people? That's why my book is called Not Enoughness.
you got a book. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I didn't know
it's
that.
coming
I
up.
did
It's
some
coming up
research and,
next. Yeah, it's coming up next month.
oh,
My
okay. I
book is
didn't
called
know.
Not Enoughness. It's a gift and a curse.
All right. Hold on. Say that again.
Not enoughness, the gift and the curse.
Okay. Not
Not
enoughness,
enoughness.
the gift and the curse.
Yes. So what happened is we are born with everything,
Right.
and in all my healing process, I mean, I went through generational trauma that because I'm. How can I carry all this pain? There's no way I have carried
Right.
all the pain, right? But we are born with everything that we need within. And
Mm-hmm.
then the society, the parents, and I'm not saying consciously, unconsciously, like I didn't know I have so much pain in me
Right.
because I was so good covering this stuff. So here's a teacher that screw you up. Here's a coach. I was a swimmer. I was 16 years old. I was ready to go to Olympics. Here's friends. Here's uncle. Here's an aunt. Here's like all this unconscious software programming in our head. It become who we are, and we lost the true who we were born and the inner child. And I was always telling like myself when I was in the part of my healing process, which by the way, I'm still completely a toddler in the healing process. I was always telling myself like I gotta heal my inner child. And the problem is I don't have to heal it. I have to love it.
Yeah.
The
We
way
have to
from the
find it.
level for
Yeah.
the level conscientious level that I'm 52 years old man right now.
Yeah.
I gotta heal this motherfucker.
Yeah.
My inner child, my oldest stuff, I gotta love it and admire and just be who we are because he got me to this level. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And just bringing the awareness and share the world that's why like I'm talking about inner wealth because what we have here, if you go bankrupt, like the mental bankruptcy, spiritual bankruptcy,
Yeah.
emotional bankruptcy, that's
Yeah.
what we should be freaking worried about. None of
Yeah.
the other shit. I'm
Right.
telling you, like when you're looking for validation from the outside world, you're gonna get hurt. And
Yes.
that's why you are gonna do some
Yeah.
stupid when you're strong enough or you have the circumstances. So when I start looking for validation from outside world, I lost my wife. Okay, I
Yeah.
mean to divorce, but imagine if this was like a cancer or something else. I lost two of my oldest kids for 2 years. Thank God they back. But I lost her. But imagine losing something forever. All
Oh,
this
right.
stuff can be taken away, and we become our identity. I'm the father. I'm the provider. I'm the husband. Nothing can take it. I'm the fucking multimillionaire. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
not my identity. I'm Jarek Tadla. And this motherfucker just wants to be loved.
Yeah.
But the problem is you don't get the love if you don't love yourself because you give everything away. And your bucket is freaking empty. There's nothing to give. You can
Right.
feel this hole inside that you like broken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just and I'm like, I gotta tell the world it's the inner wealth. That's what we should talking about. But that shit won't sell. Nobody wants to hear it. All the men wants to hear it. Like, well, how do I freaking make another $100 million or $10 million or hundred
Right.
thousand? It's like, dude, this shit won't make you happy. Been there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you happy. You buy a
I
first car, second car, first jet, second jet. It doesn't matter. The pain is it's like I just came back from Mediterranean. I always like rent a charter and I was literally on meditating with the guy, $120 million yacht, and he was next to me. And like he saw me meditating, and we start meditating together. And he goes like, "Fuck, you think people know the shit we go through?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up. We gotta share it. We have the same fucking issue. I shit, I pee,
Yeah.
I shave, I brush my teeth. I'm still same human being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so it's the inner world that shows that nobody talk about the inner world. I have people like when I start like interviewing and asking people, the people that have the least, they give the most, and then the happiest, and
Yeah.
we forgot what is important. You know what I mean? I see the child that like I have 5 kids, children like knocking on the wall, jumping. Where did I lose this?
Right.
Oh, I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to. No, I have to be right now. I have to pretend myself. Oh, no. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like I
Yep.
got on TV. It's like shit, Yarek, don't curse, don't curse, don't curse. That's what I fucking do. I curse. I get upset and I
Yeah.
curse.
I
You know
want
what I
you
mean?
to come as you are, man. There's no judgment here, bro. I just want to hear your
Exactly.
story.
Yeah.
And this is you're tapping into what a lot of people don't see. And I just walked towards my death, and I've come out the other side of that in an extremely powerful and beautiful way. What had happened was I fell in love with myself. Um, I found that it's a Peter Pan story. I found the inner boy, I found my marbles, and I found my formidability and my beauty. And I'm like, gosh, why have I beaten myself up for so long? Because so many people have seen my gifts and I don't believe them. But I'll believe anything negative. Give me something negative, I'll believe it. But you tell me how awesome I am, or what I did good, or how handsome I am. I'm like, I was telling a story that I believed, and now it's a different narrative. Like the story of the past is the same, but the narrative of the past is now different. And that is that I'm glad it happened to me. Everything, every single thing, because
Yep.
it's made me the man I am today sitting before you. And I think that's a beautiful thing. and I
Definitely.
love myself. I can't, and I don't think that's ego. And, we're told don't love yourself and don't admire yourself or don't let it become ego, but let it be your strength for who you are when you have tough
But
times.
I gotta tell you, ego doesn't live here. Ego lives
Right.
here.
Right.
Here. Ego
Yeah.
lives here and devil lives right here. There's
Yeah.
no ego here. There's love. But
Yeah.
what happened is I'm a man and I'm talking about self-love all the time. And I always tell people because that's a new word, narcissist right now, right? It's a big word,
Right.
narcissistic. And I keep telling people, guys, don't misunderstand because it's a thin line between loving yourself
Yeah.
and being narcissistic. What I
Yes.
mean by loving yourself, just do all the stuff good. Don't like, oh, if I don't get that, then you have the insecurities.
Right.
Because when you love yourself, you have no insecurities. That's why, that's where we struggle when we have all the insecurities because we forgot to love ourselves.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's a
I do.
thin line. And I always tell, I love my ego. But I dance with my ego. I don't let my ego, the second I see like my ego's taking over, and I always like, I go right here. I did millions, billions of dollars in real estate in deals. Every single good deal, it happened from right here. None of it's from here.
Mm-hmm.
Here I overanalyze, and that's how I overanalyze my own thoughts.
Yep.
So because it's like now, if we recognize our thoughts, and that's the thoughts I want to go, I always tell my son because he's a surfer. It's like, Patrick, when you go and you pick the waves, do you pick every single wave? It's like, no, Dad, I pick the best wave. So why don't we do the same thing with the thoughts?
Yeah.
Just pick the good thoughts. But how do I do that? Because when I was going down the hill, dude, I have no good thoughts.
Right.
And what happened on the bad thoughts, they're even harsher and harsher, and thoughts are, where's this coming from? Where's all the negativity, toxicity? And it's like it was painful. But when you start building up and start building from love, when I disconnect this, just like when
Yeah.
I did during the ayahuasca process, like my friend said, like, Yarek, I know you for years. There's no shortcuts in life. I know you for years. There's a shortcut. And I'm completely broken after divorce and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, just I don't want to feel this pain. It's just like I have this humongous pain here that it's like just I want to kill myself. I don't want to be here. And he goes, let's go through the ayahuasca journey. I didn't even ask what it is, man. I like, okay, let's go. Let's do the ayahuasca journey.
You were ready.
And
Yep.
it was like first time in my life that my unconscious and conscious mind they went to humongous war. I mean, like Jesus, like I purge you. I don't know if you've done ayahuasca or not,
No.
but I purge. I do everything.
I
Dude,
know what you're talking about, though.
a few hours later, they went for a walk. They holding the hands, love each other. They connected. And now I feel it like every time there's a misconnections between here and here.
Mm-hmm.
Because love
Yeah.
doesn't have to manipulate. Ego
Right.
does. The
Yes.
ego doesn't go to sleep. Devil doesn't sleep.
Yep.
Love, light, God, take me. I surrender. Just take me. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
I
But
do.
there's no.
Yeah. I've recently had that transformation. Um,
Oh,
uh, so, and I went through a psilocybin journey, hero's dose, and for 44 years, I've been working my butt off to be somebody different. And then I just quit. I just walked. I was like, I can't do it anymore, man. Like this fight's bullshit. And I just walked towards my death, and I found life in the most beautiful, incredible way, and found out who I am, and found out, I did the same thing. I went head to head, and I left nothing on the table. And man, I left nothing on the table. It was beautiful. Best fight I've ever been in my life. I got my ass whooped, don't get me wrong, but it was the
I'm
best
okay with
fight
that.
ever.
You know what?
So yeah, I understand your language right there, bro.
I love the failure. Are you kidding me? That's what I learned. When I failed and I'm freaking in the dirt, scream, yelling, I was like,
Yeah, yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
That's what I learned.
yep,
It's hard to learn. Like I always tell people, I don't learn. Like I have a lot of successes in my life. I didn't learn shit from it.
yeah,
My ego got just bigger and bigger. I have to bring the motherfucker down. It's like, no, we're not going anywhere, man. Just come here. Come, stay humble, stay humble, stay humble, stay humble. It's like, wow, but you know who you are. You did this. Just shut the fuck up. Come on here. Come
yeah.
on here. You know what I mean?
I think that's
But,
great that you have a wrestling mind. A lot of people
yeah.
don't have a wrestling mind like that to pull themselves away from the ego when it's really trying to conflate and overinflate who you are in your own mind. And then that bleeds out and acts out in different ways, I would assume.
Yeah, but remember, if you don't experience the pain, if I got, I was so fortunate to go through life till I was 46.
Mhm.
So I was fortunate. I have no idea how I went through life till age 46 without supposedly no pain until I
Right.
started figured out like why I'm not who I am, because that's what I cover, poker face. There's nothing wrong with me. There's like when I start sharing my story, when I become vulnerable, oh, I do the same. Really? I have the
Mhm.
same. What? I'm not the
Mhm.
only one? I thought that I'm the only one. And when you become vulnerable and the pain is so big that you actually not give up, give in, that's where all the good stuff happens.
Yeah.
You suddenly surround yourself with different frequency. You attract different people. You attract different. You know what I mean? It's completely different story.
It's incredible. Like
Yeah.
the when you switch your mindset, um, it it is a very attractive thing for people. Like I have people just come up to me and start talking to me now, and it's not because I'm inviting. It's inviting them in. I mean, I am inviting them in, but not like purposefully. So it's really interesting to me because I used to retract people. I wear my emotions on my shoulders, and I was very like in fear, fight or flight almost all the time. And now I'm just like at peace. And I mean, people are they matter. Everybody's got a story.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
And
So what's that?
when you share yours, for some reason, when you connect to some people can relate with that.
Yeah.
That's when the whole thing open up. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
But it took me years to to break the wall around me. I built
Yeah.
this huge wall around me that it's nobody. I did not allow in anybody. But the problem is, I did not allow any of this shit out as well. Like
Right.
everything was this fucking atomic bomb was waiting to explode until it did
Yeah.
explode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So is
But
this what your book's about? Is this
yeah,
a lot of what this is? I'll read that, man. I'd be interested in do that. We'll put it on here for reference. So you think about a month, right?
yes. The book is coming out on September 3rd.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
you know what?
Well,
That's
remember it's
perfect.
just suicide. Yeah, because it's Suicide Awareness Month.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Because that's going to be the launch of this podcast. So
yeah. Oh, really?
yeah,
Perfect,
yeah.
perfect.
So tell me about immigrating from Poland. Like, what was that like for you? Why did you come to America? What was the push there?
This is American dream. Remember, I watched American movie. My father came to United States for 3 months in 1980 to 19 like October 1980 till December 1980, and I always want to come here. This was my dream. So every year we're trying to apply for visa. We're not getting it. And then in 1992, my parents won green card.
Oh, nice.
So the dream came true. So I came here legally. Remember, I'm
Oh, yeah,
Polish,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
came. So I got fortunate enough. I didn't realize how many people are here illegally, and then people get married, but like I came here legally,
yeah.
and that's what I have the head start. You know what I mean? Because immediately the same day, I was a dishwasher. I landed at two a.m. I was at my godfather house. He woke me up at 7 to cut the grass. At 8 o'clock, I went to school English second language, and then I started community college. I said English second language. Then I went to work. Dishwasher, wash dishes, and I was just right in. Like paying taxes like normal citizen, and just
Yeah.
get ready. And because I was 21, I already went. I was, because I grew up in communist country, we didn't have anything. Remember, like I showed up when I went to the store here, dude. When I saw like bananas, strawberries, like fucking with me. This was like Jesus. You go and the shelves are not empty. I'm in heaven. Like I'm in
Wow.
heaven. Like I'm in paradise, and that's why like immigrants don't take this shit for granted. Like, I
Right.
appreciate this country because this is like, even though 31 years later, this is the best country ever. And I keep talking about, I travel a lot. I have businesses all over the world. And this is it. This is the best country you can possibly get. And we
Wow.
take it for granted. Like I have a like let's say I have a home in Colorado. The more scuba diver per capita are in Colorado because they don't have ocean. The more skier per capita are in Florida because they don't have the mountains.
Right.
So we always do something that we take for granted what we have.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like during COVID, all my friends, oh my God, they closed beaches, blah, blah, blah. When was the last time I went to the beach? I don't know, 4 years ago. So why are you complaining? You know what I mean? Like,
That's
but
fair.
our mind looking for
Yeah.
validation to complain and to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that's what it is. So I moved here and immediately I claim out the letter, like, dishwasher, then busboy, prep, waiter, manager, and, finished, graduate from college. And in the meantime, I was selling cars, like, cars after accident. So I
Hmm.
was selling, if I bought a car, fixed it for 5 grand, I sell it for six. And I have a conversation. Somebody moved, my girlfriend family, was at the dinner from Denver, and they said I was living upstate New York, Rochester, and they said they live into 4 units, and they rent three and they live in one.
Mm.
I'm like, what? Yeah, we live for free. We got home. I told my girlfriend we're getting married next summer. We're moving to Denver. We tell everybody we don't want anything. We just want money. We collect all the money and we bought first property, the 4 units building. And I was in heaven. I got a job. I was a restaurant manager for Sheraton. And then I climbed the ladders from there too. And, she got a job and we were in heaven. And then first fourplex, then the next fourplex next door was for sale. We got that. Then the one behind the door, that one was for sale. We got that. Then the 4 units become 12, 12 become 20, 20 become 70, then 100, 100 become 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000. And
Wow.
the story took
Yeah. Just a
different
snowball.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a snowball there. I mean,
So,
that's not a bad thing. That's awesome, man.
mhm.
I mean, that's really cool that you had the motivations because I assume part of that you didn't know English before
No.
moving to America. So you
Yeah,
had,
but it's so quickly. When you moved here
was
and
it?
you're young, you go to school every single day. You're working. In less than 6 months. You just speak. You communicate freely. In
Oh,
a year, you just speak English, and
yeah.
it's normal. You know,
No, that's
I
good. That's
really
good.
struggle when I was claiming up the letter, because of my accent and, because I was like, "You immigrant, like you." How can you get like $2-3 million loan? Like you just moved here. Well, it was like I struggle on the, like when I start claiming up the letter in the investing, like people like didn't take me seriously. Oh no, you
Sure.
cannot do this. You cannot buy this 50 units. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Oh bitch, watch. Watch. I'm gonna show you, It's like you the immigrant from Poland, like who you think is like, what I mean? I'm like, watch,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's there was a lot of like that, but I'm telling you, I was very fortunate in my journey.
Yeah. That sounds like it. So when did the suicide ideology start?
Well,
When?
first time it started, which I didn't know how serious it was, in 2008. Okay,
Okay.
because I was in real estate and I went back. I retired and I went back to work and I started explaining my portfolio and I see what is going on with the market. And because I have so much real estate, I said like, this is the bottom of the bottom. So I start calling friends, everybody. It's like, hey, give me money out. This is like, this cannot get any lower. And that's what I made all my money. Wow. 2 years later, I knew that, but
Yep.
I took all the risk with everybody. But then there was the recession. The Lehman Brothers went out of business. The recession was taking so long. And everybody's like, "Yari, I need my 20 grand back. I need my 100 grand back." So when the little loans, when my I'm not little friends, the little loans were due, I was paying with the cash flow. But when the big guys come, like, I need my million, I need 2 million, I need 3 million, I need my money back. I'm like, dude, I can't get loans right now. We have to wait. And that's when that first start happens. Like, I cannot pay him back.
Hmm.
And but then I found a solution, and
So self doubt started.
yeah. So I found a solution, and suddenly I figured I have no issues. It was I was just kind of selfish, and I couldn't know how to deal with the problem. That's why I was suicidal. That was so right. I'm good. I'm good.
Hmm. Yeah.
2000, 2016. That's the second time. This time I had a ski accident. Okay, I cannot play with my kids. I cannot run. I cannot be active. And remember, I'm a athlete. I swim, I run, I bike, I do
Right.
Ironmans. Any triathlon I do, like in South Florida, I win. I'm like I'm the top of the like that's what I always sedated with something. So first I sedated with work, then I retired. I sedated with training. But
Mm.
by
Yeah.
society, I do the
Yeah.
healthy addiction.
Yep.
It's not you sedating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the accident happens, and then I'm like, oh, now I'm gonna lose my leg. I'm not a full man right now. I'm not gonna be a good father. I'm not gonna be an athlete. Bullshit story. But then
Hmm.
the recovery, took it, addiction to recovery, and I recovered. So again, I put this on the pillow.
Hmm.
Then divorce happened. But divorce was covered by divorce. When divorce happened, the COVID happened.
Oh.
And
Hmm.
I knew for years I was preparing because I knew something's going to happen. So I was in heaven. Suddenly I took all the pain from divorce to work 22 hours a day.
Mm.
Because now I have resources, I was preparing for that. And not only I don't have any the distractions, plus I carry all this pain.
Yeah.
So I have to forget about it. You know what I mean? So I go work, 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 boom. COVID happened, this recover, blah, 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 boom. I'm good again. And then alcohol starts. I deserve this shit. I'm good. And suddenly the horrible sedation start. The horrible. I never touched alcohol till I was age of 30.
Wow.
Suddenly I'm 50 years old and I'm like, divorce finalized, COVID recover, I reach fortune, and I start drinking. I
Wow.
deserve this shit. I did good. Look at this, this. But thank God, because of my awareness and the resources and people I have around me, I'm like, holy shit, I'm a super addict. Like I know that I have addictive personality.
Hmm.
That shit's not gonna serve me. So I
Yeah.
quit. So I quit everything. Like any gummies, any alcohol. Like I'm not doing this shit because I'm scared that I know how I am, that I'm gonna go on the next level,
Right.
right? And just still struggling with with my daughters, with the still divorced, new queen, everything's coming out, and you know doing everything right, back to my working routine, like everything went back to normal. Suddenly I got sick for 2 days. Remember, I made fun of COVID doesn't
Right.
exist. I knew a few months before COVID had happened because my guys advised me, Jarek, take the money from here, you got to be liquid. That's what's happening. So if everybody knew, I mean, those top guys knew, they give me a warning in October that's going to happen at the beginning of the year. So I knew it was fake, right?
Right.
So I was telling the whole world, fuck this shit. This is bullshit. This is not real. This is like, yeah.
Sure.
And then I got COVID. I never tested. Remember, I didn't have balls to test it because I made fun, right?
Right.
God said, oh, you motherfucker, I got you. You made fun of COVID, so many people died. Fuck you, watch. 1 day, 2 day, I recover, but I was weak. 3 days, I never tested, so I'm just saying COVID, but I have a
Yeah.
flu. Suddenly, I'm a week in a bed, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. All my routines, daily routines went to shit. All of it.
Oof.
4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And my queen goes like, fuck that shit. She opens the blinds in my, I have this dark room, like, like peach black. I was like, get out of the bed. I'm like, get out. It's like, nope, get out, bitch. It's like, no, get out. I'm like, nope. And it's even more and more. And finally she get me out. But by the time she get me out, I already have those thoughts like,
Oh
that's
yeah.
it. I mean, that voice was like,
It's loud.
it's like first you complain like that how it started, the little stuff becomes, and then the new stuff is like you get the anxiety, then you get depression and anxiety because you're lazy, you don't do shit, and then you have a depression that you completely like
Yeah.
not contributing to society,
Yep.
and now that you start believing the voice. Holy shit, I'm a loser. I'm a nobody. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm just wasting my life. I'm just like, oh. And with every day, it was getting worse and worse, worse and worse. Like I couldn't sleep at night because my mind wouldn't shut up. And then during day, I was a zombie, so I was just napping few minutes here,
Yeah.
few minutes here, and I was just going like, uh, it was like really like I was like, I really like in different world, and I couldn't believe it how quickly I changed my life
Hmm.
and how quickly I believed their voice.
Yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
happens quick. It does happen
Yeah,
quick. If you're
yeah.
if you're not healthy, if you're not protecting your mind, it can enter in really quick.
That's why I talk about mental bankruptcy. But
Yeah.
if I talk to somebody about mental bankruptcy, the inner wealth, the emotional bankruptcy, people don't know what I'm talking about.
Right. And
You know
and
what I mean?
it's usually because people fear change, and I think you said this. There's that comfort in the misery that we know. There's that the familiarity, because if we change that, well, what's going to happen? We have no idea. It could get better, it could get worse. We hope it gets better, but there's no guarantee. But once you start venturing down the road of change, you really have to start facing who you are. And that's what I find interesting about your story. Your your inner being is pulling at you, saying, bring your ego down, or meditate, or you need, come off the ledge, do this thing. Like I love that about what you're saying, because that's the struggle that's winning, even though it
But
seems
what
like you're
happened
losing.
is I need to bury it myself because here what happened is
Yeah.
the I think it's a Jim Carrey said, depression is your body telling you fuck you. It's like I don't want to live here anymore. And it's funny that my body said, fuck you, I don't want to be here anymore. Like
Right.
I don't want to be you. So during ayahuasca, I did I did bury myself 7 times, but in the real life, without any sedation, with any alcohol, with any drugs, with anything else, just with my own thought, I came to realization, okay, get out of the bed, but go do because remember, the reason it hit me so hard, I have no empathy for people. I came
Hmm.
from an immigrant country. And you know what? And I was, minority. I was immigrant, so it's like, I was treated like shit. That's why I got even in real estate. Like I only did C-class apartments because I was treated like garbage. So
Hmm.
I don't want my tenants like I don't want to treat them like that. And and I have no empathy for people.
Hmm.
You lazy. I mean, you depressed. I mean, get out of the bed. You fat. Get out of go to the gym. You broke. Find a business. Like I have no empathy.
Right.
No empathy. And suddenly, when I lost everything, I was like, holy cow, like I was making fun of people that are depressed. Oh my God. Like I made those fun. Like I can't get out of the bed. I can't get out of the bed. Like
Yeah.
I'm making fun of those people and I become one. So what happened is I have to start little things like how do you tell all the addict that right before all the shit happens, he was doing 100 miles on the bike, 6 hours of bike riding, 3 miles of swimming, and 10 miles of running every single day. He cannot even go to the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's literally 10 steps. You can. So what happened is I have to completely bury all the yacht and just little wins. Hey, I opened blinds today. That was a fucking win to me.
Huh.
Oh my God, I'm a loser. But then devil comes in. Jesus, you loser. You celebrating the open blinds. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I went to the kitchen. When I went for the walk first time outside of the house, it was like I live in a cul-de-sac, so there's only like a few homes. It was 100 yards walk. To me, it was huge success.
Wow.
Little wins. The praying, the meditating, all. And by the way, I was in self-development my entire life. Suddenly you forget all the tools you have.
Yeah.
You forget about all of it. But I was always a part of the tribe. I'm a part of the brotherhood.
Hmm.
So those like, I mean, I even lied to them. My queen is like, he's bullshitting you. He's not busy. He's bullshitting you. He's in bed. So I have also people that, kept me accountable. But the
Wow.
little step I have to do, the little step I have to reborn. Like, suddenly I got like telling somebody that I went on a bike ride for 2 miles. Dude, I swim more than that day.
Right.
On a bike ride. I was embarrassed. But for me, it was a win. I have to, you know what I mean? And that starts slowly, slowly. And the process to recover, I'm still in recovery.
Sure. Yep.
You know what I mean? And I know this time is gonna take 4 years, like years. But the awareness, having the awareness that I'm filling out my bucket and self love. If if anybody hear the way I talk to myself, it was like I will have nobody around me.
Right.
I talk to myself like shit, and I believe in this shit.
Hmm.
I talk to myself like you could never ever talk to anybody like that. But yet I talk to myself like that.
Right.
And then what happened is I believe it. That's why that bucket was so freaking empty. So like
Mm.
when you are talking the self love, I'm telling you is everything. That's how everything starts.
Yeah.
And celebrating the little wins, like shit, you did it, motherfucker. 100 yards walk. Shut the fuck up. The old Jarek is just like fuck it, the loser. No, you the winner. Sending a nice text message, responding to the calls from the. I retired, so I mean, I still have my companies, but
Yeah.
I'm only in extending, not operating.
Sure.
So hey, texting my office, texting like all this stuff. It just took years, months, first weeks, months, and it's like, hey, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. I think like it took 2 years when, oh shit, Yarek, you back.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
took like, and it's still, and even right now, I'm again on the top of the mountains. Like I'm doing book. I have followers. I have Instagram. I have my business is booming. Every day, I still remind myself, like, go to the gratitude process. It's like, motherfucker, remember how you were sitting in the bed? Like, right now at 4 in the morning, I
Yeah.
don't negotiate with myself anymore. I
That's
don't.
fair. Yeah.
I just, Yarek, with you, motherfucker, I don't negotiate. I try with you and didn't take me anywhere. We do not, like, I don't compromise with myself.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
I
time to
understand that.
meditate, it's time
Yep.
to pray, it's time to take a cold shower, it's time to take your ritual, it's time to work out. I don't negotiate, you know what I mean? It's time to tell your kids you love them. There's no negotiation, there's no compromising with myself.
That's fair. I like
But you
that.
know how long, and you know what? I'm still doing it
Yeah.
on a daily basis.
Yep.
And it will never, ever stop till I
That's
die.
that's kind of the beauty of it.
That,
You get to suffer now instead of have to
yeah.
suffer now.
But Robin, realizing that we're in the infinite game that said you set for life. Because a lot of people are dying when they're 25, they get buried when they're 80 or 70.
Yeah.
And it's like living the life. And in the last few months, I have awareness that, I like every day I apologize to God because I was telling him, like, I got this shit. And now I apologize every morning, like, I'm sorry that I thought I got this shit, And
Yeah.
and I was telling myself, like, on a daily on a daily basis that we have to fill up the bucket. We
Hmm.
have to, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and I don't like the word selfish because I don't, because selfish is a negative statement, but you have to be selfish. At some point, in order when you're selfish and you fill up your bucket, then it's easier to give. Then the giving, the abundance is by itself.
Hmm.
And like you said, you attract the right people because what happens is we are on a different frequency. And
Yeah.
then we attract people that are like, I would never ever talk to anybody. In the
Right.
line, in the
Yeah.
Starbucks coffee, are you fucking kidding me? I
Yep.
was like, I was even pretending having my earpieces at that time. I was like, I was on the phone or there was nobody on the phone. You know what I mean? And I was like, why everybody's talking to me? It's a
Right.
different energy. It's a different
It
aura.
is.
Yeah,
The energy is way different. And
exactly.
when you purge that darkness, like with the ayahuasca, mine was psilocybin. I'd worked towards removing that, but it just didn't. The prayers or the meditation, like nothing really relieved it for long term. And then through this, I feel like I've purged my body of that darkness that has bound me so tight for all my life. And I found that inner spirit, that inner child, and it's an amazing thing to be on this side of it. I mean, going from this heavy burden of I'm going to go take my life, and I love all these people, but I just can't do this shit anymore. To I now see why people want to live. Like for the first time in my life, I understand why people want to live. I'm
I
like,
told you like a few months ago, I come up with a thing. Why don't you, like, now I create heaven on earth? I don't
Yeah.
want to die. I'm like, I create heaven on earth.
Yeah.
And my entire life, like now even more, when you wake up, but people don't misunderstood about spiritual awareness and religion, like spirituality and religion are two different things.
Right.
But a lot of people are like, oh my god, he talks about God. It's like, so which religion he's on. It's like, dude, it's like, dude, I was the most against, like, I was I was raised Catholic, so it was like the most, like, I never thought good of those priests and all this stuff, like what's going on. But when the awareness happened and the wake up call happened, it's just like you said. Like, I don't think there are bad people in the world. It's just those people were never awakened.
Right. And
That's
yeah.
it. And then, like you said, like you have all this pain, all this stuff carrying, and that's what I have. But some of us are better than the other of carrying and putting the poker face on.
Yeah.
And I was a fucking monster in it, like master. Like I mastered the shit. I could teach a class on it. Seriously, I could teach a class. That's why I'm also a great poker player too. Just so you know, brother. I'm a
Okay,
great
that's
poker
good.
player. Just so you know. It's like there's nothing going on. Shit, all this shit is hitting you.
That's
I'm
awesome.
good.
So
How
you
you
so
doing? I'm good.
yeah.
You good? Good? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no, fuck no.
So as you fill your tank, and you do these self-care things, and you enter into this space, do you find yourself having broader shoulders for people that suffer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I feel people energy, and in the few years for the last few years, I have empathy for people.
Yeah.
Before I judge people,
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
yeah, I judge people.
Yeah. Well,
Like
and
I'm making
I
a
think
problem.
one of the big things for me was realizing that everybody's got a story and everybody's, you know, broken in some way, and their story matters. That's huge for me. It took judgment right off my plate.
Yeah, I think that's
And
the word judgment, and I'm telling you, I like that's what I told you before. The lack of empathy.
yeah.
You bitch about it, change your story, change your this. Everything is in your head. You delusional. You did this. This is like what?
Yeah.
And I believe in it, and I believe it in a in really the hardest part of my head. That
Yeah.
it's everything can be changed until I couldn't have to go to work and just realize that how hard it is and how empathy and understanding people. It took my life coach 6 years to share the story.
Hmm.
I was coming to his seminar or even like because I was always in self development.
Yeah.
I was always hiding, man. I
Yeah.
was the last one in the room. Don't raise my hand. I was like somebody was speaking, he was walking, somebody don't dude,
It's kind of that avoider.
yeah. Dude, now I'm the annoying kid.
Yeah. Right.
I know it. I got it.
Front row seat.
Pick me.
Yeah. That's awesome.
VIP tickets, bro. So I don't give a fuck. I'm there. I'm in it. I'm emerging in it.
Take the challenge in stride.
Yeah, use me as an example.
Right.
Me.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So why Florida? Is it just you like the humidity, or
Mm,
because it's brutal down there? I'm not a humid fan. I love dry weather
no,
of the
no.
West.
Remember, I'm fortunate enough, so I have a few homes.
Hmm.
And
So you're seasonal.
yeah. Well, I cannot be too seasonal because like my kids start school today.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So what happened is so let's say we just came back from Europe. I have a home in Europe. I have
Oh,
a
okay.
home in Colorado. So what happened is so I'm not here. So this is like if you want to be in Florida from October 15th till April 15th. This is the
Okay.
best time. Okay, and then it's charged, and it's like and remember people like your body gets used to it,
Yeah.
and it's the humidity doesn't bother me
Oh,
at
nice.
all. And I'm always, even though I'm from Poland, it's funny. I hate cold. I just hate cold. I just hate it. And even in Colorado, like it's funny. Like when we're going to Colorado right now, we know we're going for a week or 10 days or 3 days. Sometimes it's a long weekend, so we
Sure.
just fly in, fly out.
Yeah.
But I know I'm coming back to the
Yes.
heat.
Oh
To
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's awesome.
My kids, when we live in Colorado, let's go skiing. No, Dad, we don't want to go. When we live in Florida, we'll go skiing. Let's go, Dad. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because they know they're only going for a few days and then they come back to the heat.
Yeah.
So, but the humidity never ever really bothered me. You always stay in AC. You always, it's like, you know what I mean. Plus, there's the 6 7 months of the year. There's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
I've heard
reason I
that.
really moved here is why I always knew with age people get wiser and wiser,
Yeah.
and I was like, why all those people
Move to
moving
Florida.
to Florida? And at that time I was 40 years old, right? And I'm like, if I move, I got to move now so I can find myself.
Hmm.
I don't want to move when I'm 60 and kind of live by, I want to make my own rules. So I could just want to find myself, find myself. What I mean, like business, financially, kind of like build my own
Right.
bubble.
Right.
And that's why I moved. And that was my best move. That
That's
was my
awesome.
best move. My
Yeah.
headquarters are right now in Florida too, so I still have a lot of stuff in Colorado, but my headquarters are now in
Okay.
Florida and
Yeah.
Colorado, so I have to.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you're spending most of your time out there
Yeah,
or in Florida, that makes a lot of sense. So that's wonderful, man. What what kind of advice would you give somebody that is in that darkness that you've been talking about, in that constant negative thought process? And you've mentioned a few things that you did, but what would be some of your best advice that you would, or suggestions that you would put out there?
number one is everything in life is temporary. Everything,
Hmm.
it will pass, and I know how hard it gets. It got really dark, 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 and there is always a light on the end of the tunnel. And when you think there's no light on the end of the tunnel, that's what the breakthrough. That's what the breaking. It's happened the most. That's what you when you feel the most pain. And I don't want to sound stupid, but enjoy the pain and use as a fuel, because
It
this is where you really get destroyed to the pieces, so you can rebuild it, and there's nothing to lose.
right.
There was to me number one. Number two was like when I was like at the bottom of the bottom. There's nothing to lose. I'm already broken. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm already so broken that it doesn't matter. But nothing will happen overnight. And celebrate number three, those, like I told you, those little wins. You gotta forget what you were used to. You gotta, because what happened is you broke, you took yourself to pieces, like all the Lego pieces are out. You just like naked. You
Yeah.
only have your skeleton and core, and is you naked, and you gotta start building, and you gotta just the little way. Like I'm telling you, I walk 100 yards. I went to the kitchen. I opened my blinds. I respond to the text. Fuck, and I celebrate these little things till the night,
Yep.
and then let me go to the night. You know what I mean? Just just. And out of all those five, the biggest ones, surround yourself. Find a tribe. I'm talking about men. Like I don't know how women are, but find a tribe of the men and be part of some kind of group.
Yeah.
And
It's
and and
powerful.
and you cannot. And I'm being now honest. You cannot do this alone. I always tell people, you cannot do this alone. You got to do this with somebody else, and you have somebody. And even in life, I always was alone. When you're
Yeah.
alone, you get somewhere faster, but with somebody else, you get a lot further.
Yes.
And the journey is enjoyable. And the next one is the life is a journey. It's not a destination. You are where you are for a reason. God used you to freaking break you so you can give this shit and tell your story to everybody else. And by
Yeah.
telling the story, shit, I'm getting goosebumps, brother.
Yeah. That was beautiful.
By telling the story, you really are helping somebody else. You have no idea. And right now with the social media, what is going on, you have access to somebody will never have access to,
Right.
because people in your bubble knows they do have access. But you can help by one sentence, by one short reel, by one even podcast, or one little stuff that you put on it. It can help somebody else,
Yeah.
and that's it. And at the end of the day, we are burned. to give, to serve, not to get anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's it. And we don't deserve shit. We're not
No.
entitled to shit. Stay humble and just enjoy the journey of pain, and it will end. It will end.
Yeah.
It
Well,
will
there,
not end by
you
killing
get to be
yourself.
an observer of life when you understand that suffering is your best teacher. That's
Then
a
I
beautiful
want
thing.
to tell you a story.
Yeah. Please.
So clearly, I have a lot of businesses.
Hmm.
So of course, I have a lot of lawsuits.
Okay.
I mean, it's normal, because
Yeah.
I'm also developer, so I have a lot of lawsuits. So I
Yeah.
have a lawsuit. I have a lawsuit in Dominican Republic, and and uh, and the reason I'm telling the story because you said observer, so that's how huge it is. Because I want to touch on that. It is in my book. Yeah. So there was a case in DR that my attorney missed it, didn't show up. And in DR, if you don't show up for the case, you got a warrant for arrest. But because it's such a small country, the warrant for arrest go on the Interpol list.
Oh.
So suddenly I travel, I go to Panama, I do every 6 months, I do the stem cells.
Hmm.
Remember, I will live 120. Like for me, like the health, like for me, like the emotional health, physical health, mental health, spiritual health, financial health, like you got to have the whole thing.
You're
Balance
right.
doesn't exist, bullshit. But I'm big about, like I will live to 120. So I went to Panama City for the. I'm telling a story like a woman right now. I love it. I love this shit. But hear what happened when you man and you get awakened, then you
Yeah. You're
fucking
like, I
you
just,
get some feminine shit
that
in you,
energy. Yeah.
energy, and guess what? You still good, man. You
Yeah.
That doesn't make you weak. That doesn't
Mm.
fucking make you weak. It's
It
like
makes you
I
stronger.
was in Poland, so if
Yeah.
you laugh, you freaking weak. You cry, you weak. You woman. No, doesn't make you. If you know who you are, you don't care. You
Right.
get what serves you. So
Yeah.
going back to the story, holy shit, love it, love it. So what happened is, so then I got Interpol. So I'm traveling to Panama City, and they took me out of the plane. It's like I'm like, what are those guys like doing in a plane? And it's like I'm VIP, but I'm not their VIP. And my pilot goes like, Yarek, it's not VIP service. I'm like, this doesn't look good. You know what I mean? They grab me like, have you ever been in DR? I'm like, of course I've been in DR. Just came back 2 weeks ago.
Oh
And it's
my
like, why
God.
you have something to say? No. Well, don't you have a lawsuit? I'll have quite a few lawsuits over there actually. And then boom. So I end up they locked me up for 30 hours for the questioning with the Interpol because they need to
Yep.
somebody from Interpol.
Yep.
And that's now I'm gonna start the story about observer and witness. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm pissed. Like the ego comes in, motherfucker, they don't know who I am. What the fuck? What I'm doing here? This is this. And by the time they took my phones and everything else, like come on, charity, I'm like, ha ha ha, they stopped me. It's like, Alex, stop laughing. You're the third world country. This is not a joke. Dude, I'm innocent. I never do that. I never screwed anybody in my life.
Right.
It's like, but there is stuff on your because of the DI. But it's fixed, right? Well, it's fixed, but it's not in the. I guess it's not in the system. So, Baba, they took my phone. Boom. First hour, I'm freezing, right? They really like me in, and now I don't know. The only like 2 hours later, the guy comes in with the phone, explain it in English, like, you here for questioning for 24 hours. We cannot tell you anymore until somebody from Interpol shows up. What the fuck? Okay, I'm freezing, right? And then ego comes in, talks to you like this. Wow, you can buy this airport. They don't know who you are. Blah blah blah. I have and that day I have a deal going on. Of course, the
Oh,
deal cannot happen without me too. I
right.
want that deal. Oh my God, what the fuck? I'm gonna sue shit out of this airport. Shit, blah blah. Bullshit, right? An hour later, it's like, okay, there's nothing I can do. The guy comes in with the phone, like, we can hold you 24 hours. I'm like, fuck. It's been already like 2 hours, 3 hours. Okay. And I'm sitting, I'm freezing. Okay, I cannot think of that. I cannot think of that. I'm like, okay, can you get, I'm in the middle of processing writing the book. Can you guys give me a pen or pencil? And they said, no, weapon. The
Mm.
pen. I'm like,
Yep.
motherfuckers.
Yep.
So I have nothing. Just me and me.
Yep.
Can you imagine first time in my life they locked me in for 30 hours. I was alone for 30 hours.
Yep. I did 9.5 in the Irish clink
Okay. Dude,
on just in the deport.
yep. And I was meditating, I was thinking, and there's all the personality, all of this, like, what serves me, what doesn't serve me. I was going through all those, like, imposter, black
Oh,
warrior,
yeah.
like all this voices, all this stuff. And like, who the fuck am I? Like, I'm the king. No, there might be, there's a God, there's a king. And it's like, and I was going to battle like 10-year-old Yarek, 16 years old Yarek, the choir. We gotta solve this, the fixer. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I'm meditating. I really meditate for like 30 hours, like a freaking monk, right?
Hmm.
And I really step out of my body, like, mentally, like in my
Yes.
head,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I watch my thoughts. And it
Yeah.
was funny. And I just become observer and a witness of my own head.
Yeah.
This shit doesn't serve you. This, go to your heart, go to your soul, go to the love, go to the light. Okay, let's say like this. So this, actually, that's a good time. And I was like, this, and I just like, oh shit, this now the warrior comes. Like, this motherfucker is gonna destroy this. And I was like, holy shit, this is cool shit. The awareness, I was like, this breakthrough. I'm like, I got locked in jail. I landed. Jessica runs like, oh my God, my queen, right? Oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, babe, this was the best 30 hours in my life. And she
Right.
like started crying. Are you crazy? We worry about you. It's like the kids were crying, and it's like, babe, but next time I do it on my own terms. Fuck that shit. But I'm telling you,
Right.
the witness, the observer, I figured out the voices and because we call voices, but this is the personalities that we program ourselves.
Hmm.
And we
Yeah.
go to those guys, to those like whenever we need it. How to deal with this one. Our unconscious mind doesn't come up with this shit on the spot. It's
Right.
something that we develop.
Yep.
We are a software program. You don't like something, fucking change it. But first, the awareness has to come. You cannot tell the alcoholic, it's like, hey, it's like, go stop drinking. First, he's got to be aware of it that he's got a problem.
Right.
The awareness is number one. But then we don't know how to deal with the awareness. So for years, I was dealing with the like healing and awakening, but I didn't know what I'm dealing. I didn't know how to ask questions.
Right.
And
Yep.
now when you start knowing how to ask your questions yourself in your head in the healthy way, because when you're going down the bottom, there's not a healthy way.
Right.
When that negativity starts, it's just like you have to at the end of the day, I say like you need somebody to help. You cannot do alone. But the problem is the work, you have to do it. There's no shortcuts.
There are no shortcuts.
There's no shortcuts. You got to do the work.
Yep.
That's it. There you have to do alone. But it's nice to have the tribe, the team to cheer you up. And
Well,
it's like
yeah, and it's also nice to have somebody that understands where you've been or where you're at because they've been there. And I think that's the beauty of being encouraged even in the darkest parts of your life.
the worst part is to have like listen to your family. They've never been there, and they tell you, "No, this is gonna pass. Yeah, time will heal this shit.
Yeah.
You're delusional. All this." When you have those people, you gotta just completely put all those people apart
Yeah.
because nobody understands. And you're right. When you have people that know this is like the best truth they can possibly have.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, brother, I get you. I understand that.
Yeah.
And then it does give you validation. That's like, holy shit. But you want to heal it. You also don't want to. You don't want to cheerleaders like, yeah, stay there. But I will
Yeah.
always go,
No.
stay there.
But I walk and talk with people that are actively suicidal, and it's the way I've found it is, or at least on my journey, the people that are like, well, I can't change you. Well, I can understand why. I don't get it. That's not how I think. But they just walked with me, and they walked with me to the very edge. And that's what I'm like, I'll walk with you as far as you need to go. I'm going to make it hard for you to take your life because I'm going to love you just to death. like not, hopefully not literally, but I'm gonna walk with you right where you're at, but I'm gonna encourage you the whole way, and I'm gonna show you who you are, and you can believe me or not, because I can see the goodness in somebody's spirit and what they're capable of, and that beauty. I think a lot of people have that gift, is that you see the best in somebody. They just don't believe you. And if we started believing the good things that people say to us instead of the bad shit that people say to us, we might be a lot better off.
Yeah.
So
But we don't believe, especially when you're so broken.
yeah,
It's like you don't believe. You number one, you don't believe yourself because you don't trust yourself. It's. I need the voices from outside
yep,
because I didn't believe anything I was saying,
right,
and
yeah,
sometimes I have to check in. Am I thinking this right? This is like I'm thinking I'm being taken away. I like it's something is not right, and just having get the validation not from our head, it's just from somebody that, and especially if somebody went through it.
yeah,
This is like the best. I was going through divorce, and it's my very the guy that suggested ayahuasca, Daniel. He go, brother, I heard you going through the bottom, like good, real shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be there. That was like after divorce. That wasn't like and I'm like I'm drinking, and he goes, okay, what? And we remember we the tribe was strong. We like he came. I'm like, dude, you have like 12 businesses to run. Just get out. No, I've been through divorce. It's hard. And so what are we doing? Nothing. Whatever you want to do. Dude, what? And it's like, just you lead. Yeah, like, you lead. I'm like, dude, right now I just want to get shit faced. Like, it's like, okay, let's get shit faced. What? You don't drink? I do not. What the fuck?
huh,
It's like you gotta go through this, Yarek. It's you. It's you. Let's do it together.
yeah,
We woke up
yep,
next morning, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, let's jump in the pool. Let's open Corona." And he goes, "Eric, I'm 46 years old, man. I never have beer at 8 o'clock in the morning." And I'm like, "But that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing." I'm like, "Okay." 3 days. He goes, "What are you doing now?" "Oh, I can't drink anymore. I'm done." And he goes, "Okay, then I'm done." What?
huh,
It's like, Eric, you so much mess. You just like you will not get any advices. You just
yeah,
mess. You in pain. You just go through your shit, whatever you want to go through. You know what
yep,
I mean?
yep,
And I keep telling him, like you understood, it's. I'm like, yeah, like I've been through it.
yeah,
Like I just went through divorce 2 years ago, so I know how hard it is. Not seeing the kids. This wasn't the depression. This was the divorce. But
right,
that's the same thing in depression. But like if you have somebody to give a call. So my coach, it was calling me every day, and I have to be on FaceTime. Motherfucker, he's like
wow,
you can't lie. It's like, Alec, you're not here. Get off the fucking phone. Just what I
yeah,
mean. Get off
yeah,
the fucking phone. But there was the what I mean. The crying. The this is just understanding,
yep.
and having somebody that you're not being judged.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
Oh,
beautiful when you're
yeah. I'm like,
accepted for the first time in your life
yeah,
because of the darkness you carry.
yeah,
You can't. It's unbeatable. It's life
yeah.
changing
Yeah.
when you
I
have somebody
always
say,
I
"I get
always
it."
thought that I attract people. I have everybody around me because of my wealth, financial wealth.
Oh yeah.
And suddenly it's like, who are you people?
Well, yeah. You find out real quick who will
Yeah,
walk with you and who
yeah,
won't.
yeah,
When you get into these spaces, and it doesn't really matter what you have or don't have, because the
exactly.
deficit of your mind is
Yeah,
the concern,
yeah.
and the things that are happening. So, man, that's awesome. That is so cool. I mean, that's a lot of good intervention, um,
The
for
life
you
has
not to
started,
take your life.
brother. The
What's
life
that?
has started. I'm
Yeah,
52. My life just started.
I
Believe
know.
me.
Mine too. Mine too. That's what I
Yeah,
love. I'm like, I squandered the first half. Now I get to enjoy the second half
yeah.
and live life for the first time in my life. So
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
you know
thing.
what happened is the first, like I say it, this was the development, that was the growing up area. It's not, you don't grow up when you're 18 and then this is like, I'm low, like, you know what I tell people, I'm a slow learner. It took me
Yeah,
50 years, I'm sorry.
yeah.
But now I get to enjoy it a lot more.
I just blame it on being having Irish blood and being hard headed. Like
There you go. Yeah, we
I
just,
learned the hard way.
yeah. So,
Always have. I hit my head quite a few times before I learned to duck. So
yeah, that's okay.
yeah. Well, man, it's been great having you on here. I really appreciate this, and
Thank you.
yeah, we'll put your book out there on the thing, and well, I guess we'll try this one more time. You got any last words of advice?
No, that will be it.
All
That
right,
will be
man.
it, brother.
Yeah,
I think we
just
got some good stuff there. So your guys, your listeners, my listeners will definitely love it. So
yeah. Joining me today for Jarek Tadla's story, his success, um, his struggle, and his outcome. So next week we'll be listening to John Kostick. He is a survivor of the 9/11 attacks. He was on the 39th floor of the first tower, and it gives us a firsthand account of what that was and what that looked like. And it's a difficult story to hear, but it's worth the listen. He also has a project out there that's the 911project.org. You can go check out what he's doing there and donate if you feel led to. But again, that'll be released on 9/10 on Tuesday, the day before 9/11. So we're just going to be going through that story and just a reminder of what that is. So I'll see you on the good side. Thanks for joining us on the Suicide Monk.